Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one, the Spirit which gives the breath of life, the Almighty, the all you can see and all you cannot see, the visible and invisible, the Supreme, the self-existing, eternal one, the authority, the writer, the Spirit which moves all things in place. Give glory, for he is truly worth it. I almost did it. I almost walked through that without saying he or she. And the more I think about the Spirit, that's what I think of the Spirit. And when I think of the Spirit, I don't think of the Spirit as, even though the Spirit could be of masculine and feminine, I don't think of the Spirit as a he or a she. Even though that God that created him, male and female, on the sixth day did create a he-she, created himself in an image of a he-she. Now, a lot of Israelites will say that I'm giving too much power to God or to Satan, that Satan can't create anything. And I tend to disagree with that Satan can create plenty. He's been trying to manipulate and make everything mimic. That's the word I was looking for. I was struggling for it. Satan mimics everything. All right? So the Supreme Spirit of Truth created everything. And ever since then, Satan, a lower God, has been trying to mimic what the Creator had done in a spiritual realm, something on the opposite side. Revelations 13:15 Bible Hub. So something here, the second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. The first beast is, as I've taught you, is Genesis 1:25. God creates the beasts of the field, each according to their kind, so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship it to be killed. We call it the belly of the beast, right? We're in the belly of the beast. This plane of existence is the belly of the beast underneath of the firmament. I'm going to be reading from Joshua 23. After a long time had passed and the Lord had given Israel, the Lord Yahweh, or Jehovah, those in the providence of Israel today are imposters. All right? They're the ones that created the Star of David. They're the ones that wear stars. They're the ones, they've hijacked the reality. Why would I say such a thing? Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2, Bible Hub. Because Judah mourns and her gates thereof languish, her people wail for the land, and cries go up to Jerusalem. Okay, Judah mourneth, and their gates therefore languish. They are black onto the ground. The children of Israel are black onto the ground, and the cries go up from where? Jerusalem. Okay, are those people that are in Jerusalem today black to the ground? No. Is this nutbag here, this douchebag here, Benjamin Netanyahu, okay? Does he look black onto the ground to you? He doesn't look black onto the ground to me. You know, and any time that you're talking, what? What's that mean, huh? Now in other parables it says over here they're dark. Their faces languish and they're dark onto the ground. If you need additional Songs of Solomon's chapter 1 verse 5 Bible Hub. I am dark. Dark here is again properly dusky, jaddy. But what's that very first meaning right there? Black. So you've been lied to on a grand scale. Okay? You have to understand what's happening. Okay, we roll it down another parable. Do not stare upon me because I am black. I am dark. I just showed you dark is black. Okay? Now they've tried to tell people that the skin is dark because the sun has burned my skin. That's Job. The sun has burned my skin. Let's look that one. Job 30:30, and keep in mind 30 plus 30 is 60. 6 plus 0 is 6. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. Now Christians will try to tell you that his skin is black upon him because the sun has burned his skin, which is a line of shit. I don't care. That's for the stupid and the weak-minded people. That's for the people that want to live the lie, that want to truly be in the lie and be all about the lie. All right? You got to wake up. You got to be strong-minded. You got to use common sense, logic, and reason. Okay? All those three things outweigh faith and hope. There's nothing wrong with having faith and hope. But if faith and hope questions your own common sense, then you have to go with your gut feeling and not what other people are telling you. I'm telling you straight out, you don't go with anything that I'm telling you. You go with what feels right with you. But what I teach is absolute. If I don't know it, I don't know it. And I tell you, I'm not so proud that I got to be like these ministers who think they got an answer for every question that you ask. And that's the way they are. I'm telling you, it's the most craziest thing in the world. I ask them questions that they can't answer, and it ticks them off. And that's a fact. Christians and people and atheists can't engage with me about God because the Bible's very plain about what it says. It says to test a man by their fruits. How do you do that? You talk to them about the Spirit of truth. You talk to them about the Creator, the Supreme Creator, the one that uses all the other gods for his glory. Okay? After a long time had passed, and the Lord Yahweh, Jehovah, had given Israel rest from all their enemies around them, Joshua was then a very old man, summoned all Israel, their elders, leaders, judges, and officials. Okay? And all of these elders and leaders and stuff are all fathers. Okay, this is the definition of a father in the Bible. And said to them, I am very old. You yourselves have seen everything the Lord, Yahweh, your God, Elohim. Let's take a look at that verse. Joshua chapter 23, verse 2, Bible Hub. Sorry. The Lord here, Yahweh, proper name of God of Israel, from Hayah, self-existing, eternal. Okay? This is the difference between the Gentile God and other gods. You understand that Yahweh in this particular case, which could also be Yahweh, it could also be Yah. And sadly, that could possibly be a trinity. I'm not leading anybody away from the worship of one true, loving God, the Supreme, the one that uses everything for his glory. But this is Yahweh, your God, Elohim. Elohechem, 430. And these have so many, 430 is also lowercase gods. And they're all plural of Eloah, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used of a supreme creator. Okay, this is the living one. This is the one that gives the breath. This is the one that created a divinity of himself. This is why it is uppercase God and both lowercase God. Okay, Lord God has done to all these nations, and again, the nations are who? We know that the nations are the United Nations. These are your ghosts. Okay, these are your United Nations members, high members, all right? But here's the problem, folks. Look at these. Not a great picture, but look what's behind them here. That there, folks, is a map of our world, all right? But what's the deal with it? That's a flat earth map. That's the deal with it. So these are the nations that fly flags at the United Nations. There's your flat earth map. And there's 33 little rings here with one in the center. 32 plus one in the center is 33. Mankind, this is mankind. All the United Nations are mankind. They are the evil that was created on the sixth day of creation. The nations. The Lord, you've seen everything that the Lord God has done to all these nations for your sake. It was the Lord, Yahweh, or Jehovah. Why is there two different names, Yahweh, Jehovah? Why is there three different names for Israel, Yah, Yahweh, or Yahweh? If Israel was all one nation, everybody coming off of the ship, the ark, 8 family members only, it just makes no sense. Why wasn't everybody on the ark worshiping one God? How did we get all to these names of other gods? If Noah was a righteous man in God's eyes, then Noah would have been worshiping one God, and his family would have all been worshiping one God. It's not multiple names. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why is it Yah? Why is it Yahweh? Why is it Yahweh? Why is it Yahweh Shai? Why is it Jesus? Why is it Oasis? We're talking about God. If God has only one name, it's the gods of this world that have made multiple names for God, because mankind wants you to worship them. Mankind wants you to vote for them into office and put them in power and make them above you. And when you vote for it, that means that you thumbed your nose up to the Spirit, your true protector, your true guider, your true guide, and believe that mankind is going to fix things. And folks, mankind is going to continue to plummet and destroy and kill and poison the food, the air, the water you drink, the landfills were going to be filled with garbage, the oceans. It's going to continue on this plane of existence. And the only one that can stop it is the Spirit of truth, the living one. The one that created this, allowed this entity, this divinity of itself to create this plane. It's all an imagination. It's an hallucination. So this was Elohim, the Lord Yahweh, your God, Elohim, who fought for you. Remember how I have allotted as an inheritance for your tribes all the lands of the nations that remain, the nations I conquered, between the Jordan and the Mediterranean Sea in the west. The Lord Yahweh, your God Elohim himself, pushes them out for your sake. He will drive them out before you, and you will take possession of their land, the Gentiles' land, as the Lord, your God, Elohim, promised you. Understand, remember what I showed you, Elohim are something that is used of the Supreme Creator. So Elohim are both of Eloah, and that means that Elohim are both good and evil. It means that the spiritual war that's taking place outside this plane of existence, and our flesh suits are nothing but like bumper cars, man. That's what our flesh, we're electronic, we're the electrification of this materialized world. We're like electronic magnetic beings, man. Everything on this plane of existence has to deal with electricity. That's why the Supreme God Almighty is called El, because El is short for electricity. He drives them out before you, and you will take possession of their land as the Lord Yahweh, your God Elohim, has promised you. Good Elohim, bad Elohim. Good Elohim, you could say, created the second man, Adam. Okay? Everything that became into the materialized world, you got to understand there was something given power, and somewhere along the line, folks, I don't know when, okay? I don't know when the beginning was. Do any of us? But somewhere along the line, the material world came into existence. Okay? Matter came to be. When did matter come to be? In the beginning, right? In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. In the beginning is time. Heaven is space. The earth is matter. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. Or the earth was void and without form, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And then God said, let there be light. Okay, so be very strong, be careful to obey all that is written in the book of the law of Moses. Okay, that would be, folks, look, focus on, for the Gentile, okay, this isn't for Israel. I'm here to bring Gentile into the light from an Israelite who brought me into the light. Okay, all you got to do is hear the message. If you turn from the message, then that leaves you in darkness, because there is a God of darkness, okay? And then God Yahweh is telling Israel that you're not to worship other gods. That would be the gods of darkness that you guys started worshiping when you went into their towns and their cities, and you started intermingling with them, and you started fornicating with them, and then that's your punishment. So be strong to do the law of Moses without turning aside to the right or left. Because when you turn to the right or left, what does that mean? It means that you're straying off the straight and narrow. When you stray off the straight and narrow, folks, you know what happens? You get busted in your chops. Somebody smacks you upside your head. Somebody cheats on you. Somebody lies to you. You're not walking the straight path. In order to have the Spirit on you, you must be on the straight path. Do not associate with these nations, the Gentile nations. Gentile are Gen-tiled in flesh. Ain't that cute? Thesaurus added an I to the end of this. This never had an I on the end before. They just added that. But a Gentile is a genie. It's a jinn, okay? As in a spirit. Now, evil has evil spirits too, and they're called wizards. This is why the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One, says not to practice these arts and magic, because the Supreme Spirit is both of light and darkness. Just like you're you and I'm me, Satan feels the same way too. He feels separate of God, even though he's a creation of God. He knows he's a creation of God. I know I'm a creation of God. You should know that you're a creation too. Okay? Do not associate with these nations that remain among you. Do not invoke the names of their gods or swear by them. Who are their gods? Gilgamesh and Melchizedek and Enlil and Enki and Jesus and Iasos and Yahawashai and Yahweh and the Lord, and the names go on and on and on and on. The Spirit says, worship him in truth. That's what the Spirit says. John 4:24 Bible Hub. The one holy Redeemer is Spirit, and the Supreme Creator's worshipers must worship the Spirit in spirit and truth. You can't equate him to a spirit when God says, 23:19 of Numbers, Numbers chapter 23 verse 19 Bible Hub. It says here, God again, Elohim, El, Supreme, what I told you earlier. El, this one you notice here is 410 of the Strong's Concordance. And it is also, sadly, God in plural, gods, shortened from Ayil, strength and objective, mighty, especially the Almighty. Gods, anything that is used of God is not the supreme God. This is the lower case. This is the divinity of God. Remember, Elohim is a divinity of the supreme creator. Mark, John 1:1, Bible Hub. I'm pretty sure I said John 1:1. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking there. Give me a second. Right here. God, the supreme divinity. And this is key for you to understand. This is not the supreme creator. It is a divinity of the supreme creator. D-I-V-I in Latin means to divide. So the supreme Spirit of truth, the living one, that it moves all things in place outside of this plane of existence, the spiritual one, all right, who ordains everything in the spiritual world. And then the spiritual world uses our flesh suits for the supreme creator's glory. You understand? This is a magistrate, figuratively, a judge, or a politician, a corrupted judge, or a corrupted politician. These gods are evil. You understand? God created evil first. I form the light, the intellect, the illuminated being, okay, or a luminary. Two meanings. Intellect, the light is illumination. Illumination means to be enlightened. It's the enlightenment of the mind. And I create darkness. Darkness is evil. This is the darkness that was on the face of the deep after the war took place in heaven. The supreme creator created darkness. The supreme creator created Satan and gave Satan power. Very extreme power to the max, full authority and power over this plane of existence. And I is singular, bring prosperity and create evil. I create evil. I create darkness, misery, destruction, and death. I create it all. I, the Lord Yahweh or Jehovah, do all these things. Why is Jehovah and Yahweh two different names? Again, because there's two different nations. The Gentile nations call the supreme spirit of truth Jehovah. And that's with the Y. It's not even with the J. Okay, it shouldn't be with the J. The J doesn't exist. English just added the J. Okay, and the Lord is Yahweh. The Lord has driven, Yahweh, Jehovah, has driven out before you the great and powerful nations. Who's the most powerful one of the nations now? China, Russia, America. Yeah, those are the three powerful nations, right? To this day, no one has been able to withstand you. Well, if Israel has defeated the nations, the Lord has driven out before you these great nations, these powerful nations, and to this day no one has been able to withstand you. Well, if that was true, then why is Israel in slavery? Because we've already been through this. The events that have taken place in this Bible have already taken place because we're in a time loop. They've been telling you for decades. They're telling you in Hollywood movies and stuff that this plane of existence, the flesh, it's a trap. You know, off subject real quick, here's another CERN right in front of your face. The all-seeing eye. Remember the video I did the other day with cerebrum when they do the eye scan, and then that chamber opens up there. So in this movie Time Trap, this girl's scaling this wall, right? And what they've done is they've entered a cave, and she comes to the top. Because the ropes, which you're going to find out here real quick, watch. So she reaches the top, right? And she goes walking around looking for help. And all the landscape, it's all burnt, right? It's all fried.
There's something over there. Taylor! Damn it. I'm gonna get a signal. Oh my god. Seriously? Taylor! Lee, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
I've never seen anything like it. Everything's gone.
What about the GPS?
I activated the beacon, but I couldn't get a signal. Come on. Come on, what?
Going for like 2 seconds.
You see, she'd been up walking around for 30 minutes trying to find a cell phone thing, but they were down in this cave, this time loop cave. And what was 30 minutes to them was like, for them, she hadn't even left. And that's kind of like what we're in. We're in this time loop. And they're telling us in movies like Alien Code, this movie here, they're telling you that we're caught in this trap, this time trap. So if you want to escape this plane of existence, you got to be very careful to love Yahweh, your Elohim. But if you turn away and ally yourself with the survivors of these nations, the Gentile that remain among you, and if you intermarry with them and associate with them, which you do, then you may be sure that the Lord your God will no longer drive out these nations before you. Instead, they will become snares and traps for you. Okay? Because these people here are caught in the time loop. Okay? Anybody who connects to the virtual reality, the machine, the chip, and becomes part of the machine, you're trapped like this. Okay, folks, when I watch movies today, man, I watch them looking for all the truth bombs and stuff. So, possibly the ancient ancestors, I'm not telling you that this is factual, but it's possible that the ancient ancestors, long before we came with this technology that we have today, found this technology long ago. And the technology that we're using today is not old, it's not new technology, it's old technology being reinvented. So my proposal here is something in the past, some man through the computer age, that they already assimilated with the machine. So we have these humans that are beasts for that reason. They're so disconnected from God that they can. So what they do is they're hooking us up with every click of your mouse, every site that you visit. They gain information. The machine gains information and tries to learn how to feel. It's funny. People want to become machines, and the machine wants to learn how to feel. It's ass backwards. So I'm in. Notice when they do these things, it's always what? Hexagons. So see, that's what Satan's trying. If you go and watch this movie, at the very end of the movie, it tells him that if all the phones ring simultaneously at the same time on the earth, that means that Satan has escaped the machine. You see, that's what CERN's trying to do. They're trying to open up a portal so Satan can escape the machine.
Technology is meant to expand. You freak. Your naive idiocy makes me very angry.
So you can clearly see that he's trapped inside the machine. This, what we live in, this reality construct we live in, is the machine. We're trapped inside the machine. Please, folks, I hope you see I'm making these connections for you, so they will become a snare and traps for you, whips on your backs and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from this good land, which it would appear that if Israel's still in slavery, then you've already perished from the land that the Lord, your God Elohim, has given you. Now I am about to go the way of the earth, of all the earth. Who? Now I am about to go the way of all the earth. This could be go away from the earth. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody tell me what you think that parable says. Now I am about to go the way of all the earth. You know, with all your heart and soul, that not one of all the good promises the Lord Yahweh, Jehovah, your God Elohim, gave you has failed. Every promise has been fulfilled. Not one has failed. But just as all the good things the Lord Jehovah, your God Elohim, has promised you have come to you, so he will bring on you all the evil things he has threatened until the Lord your God has destroyed you from this good land he has given you. If you violate the covenant of the Lord Yahweh, your God Elohim, which he commanded you, and go and serve other gods, Jesus Christ, and bow down to them, the Lord Yahweh, Jehovah's anger will burn against you, and you will quickly perish from the good land he has given you. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. This is White Raptor News Ministries.